What's up, YouTube? Today we are revisiting something. It is the Lionsteel B40, I believe, and an Armitage Solutions, or is it Armitage Carry Kydex sheath, which I may or may not link down below. So I took this on a walk with me by a river today, where I've kind of mentioned before, I'm clearing certain vegetation away from trees. There's this vine that grows. If you've spent any time in the Midwest countryside, you've seen it. And very quickly in certain situations, it can overpower some of the trees. So I'm just doing away with it. But it can get thick and tough. And I was using this to pry it away from the trees in some case. There was a lot of this kind of movement. Like, my hand is very sore. And what I found is this is a very sturdy blade. It's one that we're gonna see how well it held up, actually. I might have to grab this prior to just sitting down, but so yeah, there was a lot of lateral force today. There was a lot of chopping as well, because sometimes I totally, some of these vines are hard to get to, and I'm actually removing them from the honey locust trees in the area predominantly. I have no idea why they seem to thrive, but the honey locust, or the vines on this certain tree, it's a thorn tree. Although some people think of it as a weed, it kind of gets, it's kind of like a thistle, in that farmers tend to dislike it because, it is kind of an abrasive plant. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I don't know, got to get the vines off the trees basically. And I can't, bear hug the tree, or because it's covered in thorns. So it makes creating a workspace where I can hack at these things sometimes hard. So sometimes I literally can't, just yank it off the tree, pull it off the tree, because it is encrusted in these sometimes extremely crazy large thorns that are also extremely tough and waxy. So yeah, sometimes I'm chopping. I will say that's where this little rise, this is a really good handle, in my opinion. Got a lot of texture on the G10 scales. I don't know how much I would trust it thrusting, if you had to thrust it for self-defense or whatever. Maybe if your grip is fresh and strong. And my frustration with some of these vegetative things, I was considering anything to get them off. But I didn't know if thrusting was a smart idea into an object I couldn't really move. I thought my hand might jump this little guy. As far as carrying it, this is, although this is a very nice, you know what I mean, as far as leather sheaths go, it's got a lot of retention. But what it doesn't really have, in my opinion, my belt, it'll slide around on the belt. And then also, that might hold up, it might not, type of thing. Like, that's not looking real good right there. Maybe it was like a misstitch. You don't see it as much over there, but I'm sure this would last a very long time though. It is not, however, how I'm carrying it. And this is just frankly much more stable on the belt one. I have a tech lock on it. I may or may not have thread locked using the blue, this on there. These guys, these two fasteners are from, I believe they're from my Shadow Tech knives, meaning that those fasteners were made here in the US of A, along with this and this, but this was made in Italy. This on the belt is kind of a dream to carry. You got no issues, and it's very accessible. The knife moves easy in and out of it. Very happy with this sheath. Obviously, it's how I'm going to carry it because it's so much better. And yeah, it kind of keeps it up a little bit higher on your waist. So it makes life just in general a lot easier. As far as the knife, I mean, with the Sleipner steel, which is extremely tough stuff, this kind of performed exactly like I thought it would. It's a very stout knife that is going to get the job done. I don't know, you know, it might not last. The edge retention might not be like super duper. It's not going to be M390, for instance, but it's going to, you know, if you're looking for a very tough steel, this is going to be good to go. I recently, today, like I watched a video of someone taking Sleipner steel and cutting a nail in half over and over and then slicing paper. So yeah, it is good to go as far as I'm concerned. I got it from Traditional Pocket Knives when they were doing a kind of a big sale site-wide. I got it for $100. I keep seeing it for around like $130 to $150. This was 30 or so bucks, I think. But all in all, I mean, this is a great piece of cutlery, and obviously it's very thick, has a crowned top, saber grind. I believe this is a little, actually this is a, yeah, saber, Scandinavian, where it's flat, it goes down flat. And interestingly, I was looking at a lot of the Bradford knives offering in like the bigger versions of it, and then kind of rediscovered this with my fixed blades and was like, huh, this is, because what I'm looking for from the Bradford knives is almost always either AEBL steel, the very, you know, strong, tough steels. I actually found the sheet of paper I used to pull up all the time before my last move. Unfortunately, it's a ways away, so I can't go grab it. But this, but it is around again. It'll be back on the channel. But this is very tough stuff. So yeah, I mean, really no surprises. It held up just fine. It never, I mean, although I didn't use it enough to dull it, I definitely, like if this, I mean, I don't want to say if it was going to break, it would break. But if this were like prone to breaking, it would have broken, I think. Or at least there would have been some deformity of the edge, at the very least, some rolling of the edge, considering some of the lateral stress I put it under. I was also out there with this, and this performed very well as well. I don't think I even really need to strap it, but I will. So yeah, I mean, both of these knives are made of some of the toughest steel in the world right now. And you can tell. You can definitely tell. And I also really like how compact this blade is, considering it's got a full-size handle though. It does have a a place with hard edges for ferro ride striking. So yeah, if this is something, I mean, I would just keep an eye out for this. I knew what this was before I bought it. I just didn't ever really plan on picking it up. But for $100, this was, you know, I couldn't pass it up. But I will say that with the sheath, this is kind of what pushes it over the edge for me, because the sheath makes it so secure and not something you even realize you have on you anymore until you need it. Whereas this really shifted around and it was kind of weird and funky. And then you also have to worry about, you know, taking care of it. I'm gonna keep it around obviously, but yeah. So positive field review for this Lionsteel super steel knife that is, I think the B40. But yeah, that's about all she wrote for this one. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Hope you folks have a great rest of your day. Bye now.